friends, welcome to my new vlog. If you are new here, welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Kate. I am an actor. I often appear in horror movies and I'm starting to get this YouTube channel going. I've moved to this house in Essex about kind of like 11 months ago, coming up for a year, and part of my vlogs are about getting my house organized and also just about the day-to-day life and what I'm getting up to. I hope you're all enjoying December. I would say that I'm still a tiny bit depressed and I don't really know why. I think I'm still feeling like I should have everything done already. Everything should be perfect. You know, it's not so bad. It's just a little feeling, I would say. One really nice thing today that I'm planning I plan for is I'm having a living fire delivered. I've ordered a living fire from Dunelm and I want to put it into my fireplace here, which I think will look much cozier and nicer. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also, I think, going to try and decorate this mantle. At the moment it has just a kind of conglomeration of bits on it. But I think I've now found most of my Christmas stuff and I will try and arrange that. So let's get on with that now. Yes, friends, so here is my mantelpiece. For the first time this year, I've got some stocking hooks and I've already put up one for me and one for Cookie. That's my stocking there. Well, I've got a number of stockings, but I've chosen that one. And yeah, just some odd little bits here. And then here is my sort of board of Saints' Day things that I put up for Saints' Day. And just a whole load of just gubbins. I feel so lucky to have a mantelpiece. For 20 years in my last house, there was no mantelpiece. Though we had a lovely sideboard and I was able to kind of use that a bit in the same way. But right now I will take all the stuff away and I will start decorating. And now, sort of cleared things off and I'm just doing a little dust. Okay. That's nice. I think this is just an MDF fireplace. It's not wood, but then that's okay. It's fine. I don't feel so guilty about sticking in push pins and things like that. Well, guys, we're having a bit of a Griswold moment here. I've got a small knot. You know how there's an enormous knot of Christmas lights. All my garlands and things are mixed up. I think when I was moving last year, clearly it's not been done very well. Cookie, here you are. Say hello, darling. Cookie. This is my cat, Cookie. When I start filming him, he usually ignores me. He's dignified. Good for you, Cookie. Okay. I will quickly undo this stuff and then I'll come back to you. Okay. Thankfully, there's some progress. This is one of my infamous wool bags. And it has in it just one big sort of Christmas bauble. And I've still got to undo this stuff, but I've done my gold stuff. So that's good. Okay, onwards with this. Well, friends, I did manage to untangle my stuff a bit. And here at the side of my mantelpiece, I've hung up this sort of New England-y garland. You can't really see it clearly. So I'll stop talking about it and do my next thing and then I'll come back to you. Hi friends, I found one of my silly Christmas hairbands in my bag. So there you go, I have it on now. I'm going to now try and put up my other garland, which is up the top here. I noticed they've left a couple of nails in the wall, so I'm wondering how that will look. It's all very weird. I mean, in my old house, I used to have a way I would decorate and blah, blah. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Okay, I've sort of got this one up now. I'll move the camera so you can see it a bit better. Yeah, this is a handmade garland that my mum and my sister and I made years ago. It used to go above our big mirror. Maybe I'll get a mirror in here, maybe. And then there's another bit of it that kind of goes down like here. I've got a little stocking here, and yeah, it's nice. I think it's nice. Okay, next thing. So what I have here is a painting of a snow scene. I think it must be somewhere like Russia or somewhere in the Victorian era. This was a print of my mum's. I don't know if it's going to really go here. I'm just trying things out because I'm completely new to this mantelpiece. But I think I will put a hook on the wall and just put it up and just see how it looks. I'll put some more things around it. Okay. Hi friends. Well, I think I'm really needing a garland or some pine stuff to be some pine branches to go on this mantelpiece. It's just looking a bit bare, but I will keep going. Okay, guys. Well, it's the more I put on, the better it's looking, because I think it's evolving into a slightly Russian-y, nutcrackery looking mantelpiece, which I wasn't really planning, but it's nice. Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, well, it's a little bit better. I'm finding more and more things. I think it's going to be quite a sort of pretty cluttered mantelpiece, but I'll keep going. Okay. Okay, friends, well, here is my mantelpiece so far with what I've got. It has turned into a sort of nutcrackery, sort of higgledy-piggledy mantelpiece. It's quite sweet, with the Russian painting in the background. At one time in my mum's life, she got very interested in gilding, and she gilded this frame. So that's a nice memory. Let me go closer. On this mini tree, I have some tiny nutcrackers, and I'm sure I have other nutcracker things. Like I'm sure I have a little sugar plum fairy and stuff. And then I've got some candle trees here, and just some Christmassy candles and other trees. And then here I do have a little sort of nutcracker candle holder that I bought on eBay from someone in America a couple of years ago. So that's very nice. And I'm sure I have some little sort of dolls that would be nice here too. Maybe I'll find them, maybe I won't. But anyway, that's where I am for now, and for the time being, I'm just going to leave it and see what happens next. Okay. Well, friends, after a great deal of hysteria, my Dunelm stove has arrived, and I will soon move it back into the fireplace. Basically, I got an email to say it had been delivered and signed for by me, by DHL. And then, of course, I hadn't signed for it. Then I got on the phone to them. I was very upset because for me, this stove is £80 and it's a lot of money. And then they said it was with a neighbour, and I couldn't see the neighbour from the photograph. Then I finally found it outside my house at the side gate. And it's not been signed for by anyone. So there you go. It's done now. Got it. After all that upset, someone is really enjoying the Dunelm delivery box. I can't move him. He's just too happy. My goodness, I'm in a mess now. Okay. Well, friends, here's my little heater with the flames on. I must say, I kind of thought it would be a bit more impressive. I don't know what I was expecting, like maybe a King Henry VIII roaring fire. No, it's very sweet, and I think it is really nice. I'll pull back a bit. I'm still in quite a mess here, but it's improving. Okay. Okay. Yes. It's a bit complicated, but I like it. I like it. I almost don't need a Christmas tree now. I feel that the mantelpiece is such a focal point. However, I will get a tree. I've got all these decorations, and I think next year I'll manage everything better. Let me put on the lights above the mantelpiece. Yeah, that's the little lights on above the mantelpiece too. Okay. Well, it's nice. I mean, yeah, it's probably a bit too complicated. However, here we go. I actually have a little fire in my hearth for the first time. We used to have a lovely, hello Cookie, we used to have a lovely living fire in our house in Glasgow, but that was a long time ago now. Okay, right, time for a cup of tea. It's a beautiful morning in Clapham Common. It's just, without the leaves, there's so much light. It's just gorgeous. Okay. It's not every day you work in a fire station. I guess that's the tower the firemen used to practice in their training. Yeah, and I think there are some fire engines down there. Anyway, it's great when your job takes you to so many different places. So I'm standing outside the Omnibus Theatre in Clapham Common. I once appeared here in a show called Crack in the Crypt, and gosh, that seems a long time ago, but it was lovely. We appeared at a number of venues, and I got to use my Irish accent in my ancestry in that movie. That play. Yes, this is really bringing back memories of the Omnibus Theatre. I just spotted this beautiful statue. It's apparently, but it was donated. Let's see, it says, "The gift of the United Kingdom Temperance and General Provident Institution." So, I'm a member of Hope UK, which promotes drug-free choices, which used to be the Band of Hope, and it's a temperance organisation. So, I guess this is part of that heritage that was not actually from Band of Hope. But 100 years ago, many people were interested in an alcohol-free lifestyle. It was very popular. And some insurance companies would give you insurance if you were alcohol-free because you were less likely to get ill. So I'm thinking the General Provident Institution must have been a temperance insurance insurance company. Here's a better look at the statue. Try and pull back a bit. Hello again, friends. I meet you today with my tale of two curtains. Basically, when I was packing up my last house, I took down the curtains in the sitting room that my mum had made, and it was all a bit crazy, and I ended up packing one curtain into the top of a box of books, and then I put the other curtain into another place, and I couldn't exactly remember where it had gone, but I hoped it was okay. When I moved to this house, after all the things being in storage, I unpacked, and sure enough, I found the curtain in the box of books. But as I unpacked and unpacked and unpacked, I did not find the other curtain. I was really sad. I imagined that that box with the curtain in it had gone missing. Some of my things have, I think, been pinched when they were in storage, as I think most people who've moved has found. So I was imagining like my mum's curtain would be no good to whoever stole it. It was probably going into landfill and someone didn't want it, and I just wished they'd had both curtains because then they might have used them. And I was sad because I wasn't going to have my mum's curtains. And then like 2 weeks ago, I was unzipping my last big squashy bag, and in it was the curtain. So now my mum's curtains are reunited. I'm going to try and put them up on my bay window here. It will make the room very dark, but you know what, it's Christmas, and I just would like to have my mum's curtains up again. At least I'm going to try and put them up. So they're just quite an elegant sort of very, very pale yellow, kind of, it's just a lovely subtle champagne colour. And my mum made these on our sewing machine, so they're very important to me. I will try and put them up now. Okay, well, that's them up now, and I think they look quite sweet. The room is darker with them, but it is winter, and my mum's curtains are up now, so the tale of the two curtains is now, for the time being, told, until I can get a brass double rail. Hallelujah. I wanted to try the wimpy Christmas lunch, but it's only for beef. There's no sort of chicken or turkey or anything. But still, my chicken burger looks very nice. So now I've made the space, and although things are not perfect, I'm going to go and get a Christmas tree, probably at Aldi. I think they're $16.99. And I will come back and I will decorate my tree, and hopefully that will be really nice. Okay, so now I've taken off the plasticky stuff and the tree is starting to fall. I think I'm going to let it go ahead for a little bit longer, and then I will start decorating the tree. And I guess in the meantime I can try and... the tree kept slithering around, and then my chainsaw was no good, and it's not been a very sort of glamorous afternoon. I should have probably filmed myself slithering around with the tree, but I just didn't think about it. So it does smell lovely, and it was actually reduced to $6.99 at Aldi, so I do hope it lasts. But it was certainly a bargain, Well, friends, I've decided to give up for now and have a cup of tea. As I've said to you, this afternoon has been really, really difficult. Christmas is supposed to be fun. I think I'm now going to I've got a little one of my Greg's bites, but it's now Christmas themed. It's just the same as my Halloween cakes. I've got my Miniso mug saying, I believe in Santa, which I do. And I'm going to let the tree fall a bit more, and then there's all my decorations, and Yeah, I mean, when I finished everything, I'll show you the room, but right now I'm knackered. Hi friends, well, I had my cup of tea. It was great. I'm really feeling a bit, I'm just surprised at how stressful today's been. I'm now the tree hasn't completely fallen yet, but I think I will now try and decorate it because tomorrow I'm working and I'm pretty busy. I mean, it's supposed to be a happy time of year. I don't know, honestly. When I was in Clapham yesterday, you'll have observed it was a very pretty area, and the part of the day got cancelled, and part of the work I was supposed to do got cancelled, though the other part was done. So that was good. But then in the interim time, I ended up buying some pretty expensive Christmas cards. I actually for my family, I got this little poetry book instead of a card. It's about 12 Christmas poems. I think it's called 12 Poems for Rosy Cheeks. So I think that's very nice. And then I also got 2 packets of cards by someone called Roger Labard, which they look nice. Let me show you. So I thought this was really nice, a little miniature poetry book instead of a card, and I think they'll appreciate that. And then I got these 2 boxes of really quite expensive Christmas cards. And the bizarre thing is, people nowadays, they send fewer and fewer cards. I don't have a lot of cards to send, and I actually can't find my address book because I'm in such a mess. I seem to, at the moment, always be getting into these situations. My sister sent me some of the addresses that I can't find, but others of them I just don't have. So hopefully I will maybe find them this weekend. But anyway, I can always use these cards next year. It's just, it's another thing that's probably made me a bit irritable. I should have just bought 1 pack of cards, really. I mean, do you send out cards now? It's a kind of dying thing, but it's so nice. It's just the postage is so expensive. Friends, it's very dark now. However, I think I want to do the tree now. So I'll maybe just do it in little bits and then just show you how I'm getting on. I'll try not to take too long about it. I'll start off with my garlands. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to put my gold garlands there. Actually, they're a bit hidden, aren't they? Okay, I think that's better. I don't have any lights from my tree. I've kind of not had lights on my tree for a long time, but I mean, maybe next year I'll get some lights. I've just had very Victorian trees for a long time. Okay. Here are some of my little woolen pouches that I knit to hold my decorations. Sometimes I even put like little sequins on them as well. Sometimes between Christmas and New Year, I will sit watching movies and then knit these little pouches and add the sequins to them. And, it's cute. Yeah, there's a little peach one. Yeah. My mood is improving. This is good. Okay, I'm going to put up some decorations and see what we think. Well, friends, I've put a few things on the tree so far. This Rudolph, I've had that since, when I was a little tiny girl, my mum and dad had that. So that's a very old one. This boot is a 70s ornament for sure. And then this lovely owl. I love owls. It's more recent. Here's my TV, and on the right I've still got my TV angel and some crystals. I really like to feel that only good things come out of the TV. And here I have a kind of Santa corner. I like old figurines of Santa, and then there's some new ones there too. And I have a little Victorian snow baby that's actually broken, but it's an antique, I think. The Night Before Christmas, Santa and Mrs. Claus. This is one my dad bought when I was a little girl. So, yeah. I'll just keep going. I'm starting to feel less grumpy, so that's a very good sign. Okay, friends, well, you know what? I probably shouldn't put any more on, but I think I'm going to because I've got so many ornaments, and I'm also feeling like next year I might get a faux tree for the other room because I have so many ornaments. I mean, putting up this tree was just awful, and it's only a medium-sized tree. I have enough ornaments for a big tree, but considering how fed up I got, it's probably good I only got a medium one. But so far, I'm very happy with how it's looking. These little paper bells, they were made from egg cartons covered with foil, and that's tailor sort of this fabric ribbon used in dressmaking. My mum and dad, when they got together, were very poor, so for their first Christmas, my mum made a number of these little bells. For the Christmas tree, and that's the only one we have left, but I really treasure it. And then here is this slightly macabre Victorian lady. I bought this when I went to California on holiday before COVID. It was in a thrift shop, but I really love that. That is just my kind of thing. And then here are two little sort of gnomes, which are very cute. And then here's another 1970s one that was always there as long as I can remember. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. I'll do a little bit more. Well, friends, here is my tree. I don't think I'm going to put anything more on it. And it's got too much on it. But, there we go. And I think I found a few more little Santas. Let me go over to the tree just for a second. Yes, I found a few of my sort of retro Santas that I got a bundle of these at a car boot sale once. And yeah, there's another few there. And yeah, here's my tree with got too much stuff in it. I needed a bigger tree. Maybe I needed 2 trees. I don't have them. This one is a tea light. I made this one Christmas when I worked for a company called Experience Engine. They were a wonderful company. And that still works. I've got another one that doesn't work anymore, but it was just a really cute little snowman. So it's a very cute Christmas decoration to make if you want to. And yeah, here is a lovely moon that I got at Pollock's Theatre shop. Here's my Beverly Hills bauble that I got in the Beverly Hills tourist shop, which I don't think is there anymore. Loved Beverly Hills. We have a ballet dancer, and here's a little walnut baby. I got this at the Steiner School Christmas fair once. I don't know if that's supposed to be Jesus, the little figure inside it, but well, you can't really see it properly. It's a little figure that's lying in the walnut. Here's my mantle, which I'm very pleased with now. Maybe it's not too fussy. Maybe it's okay. And then I've got some little candles there. And here's a really pretty bowl that was a gift from my cousin. Yeah, it's lovely. And there's my new stove, which is no heat on at the moment, just the flame, but it's lovely. And then here I've put up a few more things here. This blotter, this red thing, was made by my friend John Beasley from Hope UK, and so I always remember him there. And I found some nutcracker salt and pepper shakers that I got in Poundland a few years ago when I started to get interested in nutcracker things, and Poundland just did those, and they were £1 for the pair of them. So that was great. And there's my mum's print in the middle, the snow. So if I just sit down in my chair, I've got a YouTube screensaver on for Christmas, and my tree, and after my very grumpy day today, it's all been good. Okay, sign off for now. I recently found this clock of my mum's, and although it's not pretty at all, it's very handy to have a clock in here, not just look at my phone if I need to know the time. So thank you, Mum. Like all your stuff, it's very useful and practical. Thank you. Yesterday I put my angel on top of this stove, but then I read the instructions and found it's very dangerous to put anything on top of it in case it overheats. So I've taken it away again. Right. Hello everybody. Happy Advent Sunday. I'm looking pretty scruffy, but I think I need to wash all my Christmas jumpers, and that's it. Okay, sorry for that noise, by the way. Today I'm going to make some soup. I'm not going to go through preparing the soup and everything. I feel I've kind of done that a lot lately, but I'll show you when I'm finished. And now let me show you the cookbook. So I have here the Shoshoni Cookbook, vegetarian recipes from the Shoshoni Mountain Retreat, Anine Sachs and Faith Stone. Look at the back, this is so pretty. These ladies wrote the cookbook. It looks like a hippie paradise. My mum bought this book about the Shoshoni Mountain community. It looks beautiful. And what I have here is 2 butternut squashes. So there's a recipe in this book for butternut squash soup. So I'm going to make double the amount, and I'll be eating it probably all week, which is fine. When I finished, I will show you my soup. Okay, right, let's get on. Hello again, friends. Well, I've got my pumpkin soup now on the, or butternut squash soup on the boil. So that's great. Getting the rind off the pumpkin was not easy. You may wonder why I'm looking at this sort of collection of china. Basically, I've just unpacked it. It was one of my last boxes from my move. When I was early on in COVID, I was in a movie called Amityville Scarecrow. I'll put up a poster, hopefully on the screen. And it was during COVID, so we were told we had to bring a set of microwavable dishes to the set. And I didn't know which of our dishes were microwavable because we didn't have a microwave. So I bought these in Wilko. And yeah, when we went to the set and in our digs where we were staying, we had to just prepare our own meals in our own bowls. And after I got back, I put these up in the loft and I've not seen them really since. So there we go. Amityville Scarecrow story. I'm feeling glad that COVID is over, though my goodness, there's a lot of flu, isn't there? So I'm going to keep a low profile this week and hope I do not succumb. Well, here is my soup. It's finished and looking very nice. It probably could have some cream in it, but you know, I've tasted it. It's very nice, and I will have enough for quite a few days. So I'm really glad to have used up those 2 butternut squashes, and feeling very blessed to be having a peaceful lunch in my house. And I'm now going to put on a really great YouTube channel called Living with Mandu, about this lady who lives in Sweden. She's so elegant and organized, and yeah, okay, I'll have my soup. I'll come back to you later. Hello again, friends. Well, I've got a little Christmas craft here. It's very, very simple. I've wanted to do this for years, but it's just I've never managed to get it together because the last few years have been pretty chaotic. So I'll just turn around the camera and show you now what I'm planning to do. So years ago, I was at this craft fair and I bought this felt with a kind of snowflake pattern, and I've always wanted to make just a sort of padded shape with this nice felt pattern with a little ribbon on it to hang on my tree. And it's just, as I say, the last few years have been really pretty crazy. If I had the felt, I didn't know where my stuffing was. And then if I had my stuffing, I didn't know where my silver thread was because I wanted to do a kind of whip stitch around the edge in silver thread. But I think this afternoon I have everything together and I have a nice template here. I've got this little heart-shaped bowl, so I'll just use that to draw out the shape. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see how it goes. Gold pen there just to draw out the shape, and I've doubled it round, so I'll cut out the 2 at the one time. Okay, so that's my 2 little shapes. This really is so simple. I don't know why I didn't do it before. I'll now start over sewing them, and then I will put in my stuffing and attach my ribbon. So I got this silver thread, friends. It's by Madeira. I think I hoped it would be a little bit thicker than this, but it is what it is, and I think it'll be fine. And I'll get on with that now. In a way, this is really what December Sunday should be, you know, just peacefully doing a little bit of craft in your house. Yeah, I'm just doing a very simple sort of overstitch like that. I'm just really blessed. It's I think it's a big lesson for me that I just need to stop sweating the small stuff. I'm so fortunate. I mean, you keep seeing on YouTube people, particularly in America, who are losing their jobs and, you know, finding that their bills are just simply unable to be afforded. So although, you know, I'll be eating that soup all week, it's perfectly nice, and, you know, I'm okay. And also I can look after my cat, and that's good. And yeah, I am looking forward to Christmas. I would say if I compare now to the past, I feel like I used to at Christmas have just a sort of bubble of joy that was usually there. Maybe that's because I was able to be very organized and I knew where everything was and whatever else. But I mean, that bubble of joy, I would say, is not really here anymore. Maybe it's taken me a long time to get this sort of here to my own place and make a new start. And now I'm here. I'm not quite sure what the future is going to hold. So there's some anxiety about that. But yeah, I mean, there's been an awful lot of good things this year, so I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't complain. I also did my Christmas cards today, although there weren't very many as I had thought. I guess I might have some last minute ones to do, or can keep them for next year. But no, and another thing is I still haven't found my Christmas DVDs, and I'm someone who has certain Christmas DVDs they like to watch every year, so probably, you know, it's good for me to just sort of do something different. Yes, okay, I will go on with this over sewing and then come back when I'm nearer to the end. This is the stuffing I got. Apparently it's kind of pressure packed because it's a lot, you're getting a lot more than it looks like. So yeah, try and get a bit out. Okay, that seems very soft and nice. Okay, so just stuff it in like this. Cookie's just out of camera shot. Cookie, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I used to be a really neat sewer. I think as I've got older, my eyesight's not quite so good, and also I just haven't been picking up the hand sewing so much. Okay, that's looking quite cute. I firmly believe that there is a, you know, it really does, it's very good to work with your hands and do a little bit of craft. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I now have my little, yes, now I've got my little fire behind me. It's very cozy, and I will just put a ribbon in here and come back when I've finished off. Okay. So there we go. After years of waiting, I have, in about 20 minutes, made this little Christmas decoration. This twinkly ribbon, if you like sort of sparkly ribbons and things like I do, I advise you to go to an Indian material shop. Where they have saris and all these beautiful trims and things, and you can get some really beautiful ribbon like that. So I will put that on my tree. So there we go. Happy Christmas, Kate, and try not to be so grumpy. Hallelujah. Hello friends, well, I'm come to the end of this video now, and I'm still looking like a scruff bag. I forgive myself. It is what it is. Next Christmas, maybe everything will be just perfect. So I hope you have a lovely week, and I will try to do another video for next Monday night as usual. It's quite a heavy week for me work-wise, but I will even try to do a short video of this week. Or maybe it'll be just the longest video I've ever done. I don't know. But I will see you soon, and have a lovely week.